friends, welcome to Mini Money Mastermind, and this is Mahara speaking all again. So friends, hope you're able to understand the way money functions by watching my previous videos. But now I'm gonna start with personal finance. Now in personal finance, my first topic is investment. Now investment is based on compounding. And the power of compounding is one of the most strong powers in the whole world. Now, let me tell you some stories about famous investments so that you will be able to understand the power of compounding. But before we start the stories, let me ask you one question. Is McDonald's only a fast food chain? The answer is no. How and why? Let me explain that through the story of McDonald's. The McDonald brothers invented a fast food business but failed to make it a franchisee business. Then Mr. Ray Kroc entered in McDonald's franchisee business and he also made losses due to high cost of raw materials and other reasons. But he found the potential in land business where the McDonald's restaurant was standing. So he started a real estate company which was named McDonald's Corporations, and he gave that land to McDonald's fast food in rent. So then McDonald's became not only a fast food chain but also it started to become a real estate business. It owns the land and buildings at most of its locations in USA, and the franchisees pay the rent to McDonald's Corporations. For easy understanding, you can take the example of a pizza. Now the pizza has its base and its toppings. Just take the base as land and the toppings as McDonald's fast food. So if you just want to eat the toppings and not the base, then still you have to pay for the whole pizza. So this example don't go in details, but this is just to show the relation between the land and the business. McDonald's became a big real estate company in USA. Its investment was in land and buildings. Its growth came over time from McDonald's fast food. If you want to know the complete story about Mr. Ray Kroc, then you can watch the movie named Founder, but you have to watch it under parental guidance. Mr. Ray Kroc was successful in his business in his 50s due to his experience and land idea. But let us talk about Warren Buffett now. Now Warren Buffett is one of the richest investors worldwide and he is from USA. So Warren Buffett was interested in finance since his childhood, and due to his financial knowledge, he became one of the richest investors worldwide. Not only he, but those who invested in his company also became rich. Let me show you the chart of Berkshire Hathaway, which is the company owned by Warren Buffett. You can see that the share price of Berkshire Hathaway was approximately $1 during the 90s, but now after 30 years it has reached approximately $5 lakh per share, which when converted into Indian rupees equals approximately 4 crore Indian rupees per share. So Warren Buffett's secret of getting rich is compounding, which requires financial knowledge and time. Maybe you don't know the details of compounding. Don't worry, Mahira is here. I will explain you the magic of compounding later in this video. For more financial knowledge, keep watching my videos and watch them as many times as you can so that you have a clear view of whatever knowledge I am passing on to you. Now you might be thinking that I am giving examples of investors from developed countries only. Like I told you about Warren Buffett, Ray Kroc and the McDonald brothers. Now these all were from USA only, which is a developed country. Are there no investors from developing countries who are famous for their financial knowledge? No. There are people who like this. Like one of them is Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, who is also known as the Warren Buffett of India. During 2002-2003, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala had bought 5.1% stake of Titan Company for 30 rupees per share. Now, after 20 years, the price has reached 2,500 approximately Indian rupees. Friends, just think, from 30 rupees to 2,500 rupees. So much. And his 5.1% share, which he had bought 20 years ago, you know what is the current share value? It is of 11,087 crores. Oh my god, can you imagine that sum of money? But now let's come back to compounding. Do you know what Albert Einstein said about compounding interest? Albert Einstein had said that compounding interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Those who understand it, own it. Those who don't, pay it. Now the topics that we're going to cover now are compounding, investment, rewards on investment, and returns on investment, also known as ROI. In your school, you might have heard some mathematical terms like principal, interest, compound interest, and interest rate. But don't worry, okay? Don't worry. I'm not going to tell you the formulas of these math terms. I'm going to explain you in the aspect of finance. Okay, so let's go with the first one. It is principal. Now in finance, we call principal investment. And the definition, if you want to go word by word, of investment or principal is the money that you originally agreed to pay back. Now the second one is interest, which in the terms of finance is the rewards on investment. Now if you want to go by word definition, it is interest is the extra amount you get on the principal. And now let us learn compound interest. Now compound interest in financial terms is called return on investment over time. Its definition is interest on principal plus interest on interest. And remember, it gets very powerful investment with time. Now let us talk about interest rate. Now interest rate in financial terms is called growth rate. And the definition of interest rate or growth rate is it is a percentage of the principal or the amount loan which is charged by the lender to a borrower. But don't worry if you don't understand these terms like percentage, lender, borrower. I'm going to explain you. Okay, now let's start with lender and borrower. What is a borrower? A borrower is a person who actually takes a loan. And the lender is the person who gives the loan. For example, you took a car loan from the bank. Okay, so here the lender is the bank who is lending you money, who is giving the loan. And you are the borrower who is taking the loan. And it can go vice versa as well. Like you are depositing money in a fixed deposit or FD. Then you are the lender who is giving the loan to the bank. And the bank is the borrower who is taking a loan from you. Okay. Now let us talk about percentage. Percentage means a part of 100. It is a useful tool to compare two or more numbers on the same scale. Written as 100%, it is equal to 100 parts per 100, 100 upon 100 or 1, which is a portion equal to a whole. Now, if you want to understand how to calculate percentage using the number 100, it is very simple. You see, 1% is equal to the number 1. Okay. So, if student A has got 90 marks out of 100 in a maths exam and student B has got 80 marks out of 100 in that maths exam, then student A, you can say, has got 90% of his marks and student B has got 80% of his marks. Now let us understand how to calculate the percentage of those numbers which are not 100. Let us understand it through an example. Let's say a student scored 20 marks out of 25 marks in his or her unit test and he or she scored 100 marks out of 150 marks in his or her final exam. So over here, how can we calculate the percentage? We can calculate the percentage of the unit test by multiplying 20 upon 25 by 100. So the answer is 80. So the student scored 80% of his or her marks in the unit test. The same formula goes with the final exam. 100 upon 150 multiplied by 100 is equal to 66.6. So the student scored 66.6% marks in his or her final exam. See, here in unit test there is less syllabus, so students scored more, but in the final exam more syllabus, so students scored less. Just kidding, okay? 66.6 is still a big number, okay? So now let us talk about compound interest. Let me explain compound interest through an example. Don't worry, I'm not gonna teach you the compound interest formula, okay? So let's say you did a fixed deposit of $1,000 and the interest rate is 10% and the tenure is 3 years. Okay, so after 4th year, how much do you get? You get 1,000 plus $100. $1,000 was the principal amount and the $100 actually, like, it will not be deposited at time. That tenure is of 3 years. Okay, so 1,000 and the $100 is a 10% of 1,000. So you got 1,000. You have $1,100 now. So after the second year, how much you will get? $1,210. But how did the bank calculate this? Well, let me explain you piece by piece. The $1,000 were the principal and the $100 were the interest you had got last year. The other $100 were the interest on the principal of this year. And where did the $10 come from? It was the interest on the interest of the previous year. So you can add them all and you will get $1,210. After the third year, how much you gonna get? You're gonna get $1,331. But how did the bank calculate this? $1,000 was a principal, then came $210, which is the interest earned up to now. Then is the interest on the principal, which is $100, and the interest on the interest up till now, which is 10%. And the 10% of 210 is $21. So if you add up all of these, then you will get $1,331, which is the money you will get after the fixed deposit is closed. So this reward requires two things. First one is interest rate and second one is time. If you do the right investment, which is where there is a good interest rate, and give your investment time, then you will be able to see the result as rewards, and it is called return on investment or ROI as well. But here I am not talking about bank fixed deposit only. I am talking about you finding better investments in fixed deposit which can give you higher interest rate or growth rate than that, and over time you will get good ROI as well. For example, ask your parents about any land they had thought of buying or had bought 20 years ago. Check the current price of that land. You must be shocked that the ROI is so high. But I want to tell you that for having a good ROI, you need to wait patiently, because the first thing is interest rate and the second thing is time. So friends, let's have a quick recap of what we learned today. I narrated you 3 stories, one of McDonald's, one of Berkshire Hathaway, and one of Titan, to make you aware about the power of compounding. Also, I told you that percentage was the only method to compare 2 or more numbers on the same scale. And the third topic that we learned about was compound interest, and I explained it through an example. I hope I was clear to you. Now you will get more videos on personal finance. And please guys, like and subscribe my channel if you haven't yet. Thanks, goodbye. And early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise.